This is my old laptop, and today I'm going to show you how to turn it into a Minecraft server. I'm also going to show you a method that nobody else talks about to make it work with both Java, the PC version of Minecraft, and Bedrock, the console version of Minecraft. I've personally been running a server like this in my basement for years, and we've done a ton of cool things on it. So to do this, you're going to need an old laptop. I'm going to be using one running Windows. I'm going to show you how to set it up for Windows, but it should be pretty similar whether you're using Mac or Linux too. And I recommend using an old one that you're okay with leaving on all the time and you don't really use for anything else. Now the first step is to take your laptop and open a new Chrome tab and search Java downloads and click on the first result. You're then going to want to click on JDK1 and then download the Windows installer and install it. The next step is to go to getbucket.org and you're going to want to download the latest version of Spigot. Once the file is downloaded, go into your documents and create a new folder called server, then copy and paste the Java file you just downloaded into it and double click on it. This should generate some new files, including one called eula.txt. Open this file in your notepad and change the eula value from false to true. Then once again double click on your server.jar and you'll notice that this time it opens a little window. Your server should now be up and running, and to test it you're going to want to open your settings and go to network settings and then Wi-Fi and then click on the network you're currently connected to and scroll down to where it says IPv4 address. And if we copy that IP address and load up Minecraft Java Edition and try to connect to it, you can see it works and we load into our new server. Now if we try this in Minecraft Bedrock Edition, you can see it doesn't work. All we have to do to fix this is go to geysermc.org and go to downloads, then download the Spigot paper version of Geyser and also download the Spigot paper version of Floodgate. Then just copy these files into your server's plugins folder and restart the server. Now if you look in your plugins folder, you'll notice there are some new folders, and you're going to want to go into your Floodgate folder and copy the key.pem file and paste it into the Geyser Spigot folder. You should now be able to connect to your server on Bedrock. But wait, you're not done yet. The way your server is currently set up will only work with devices on the same network as you. To make your server public for the whole internet, you're going to have to do something called port forwarding. What port forwarding does is basically every device on your network has its own IP address, which is sort of like a phone number for the router to talk back and forth with your computer. Now, if you were to give your computer's IP address to your friend who's on a different network, it wouldn't work because your computer's IP address only works for devices on the same network as you. Now, every router on the internet also has its own IP address so that all the routers in the world can talk to each other. So basically, all we have to do is something called port forwarding, where we basically change some settings on the router and tell it to connect any traffic on a certain port, which is basically like a walkie-talkie channel, to your computer. So now instead of giving your friend your computer's IP address, we just have to give them the router's IP address. Now, setting up port forwarding may be slightly different depending on your router. I'm using a Netgear router, but if you're using a different router, you might need to find a different tutorial. Okay, so the first step is to open a new tab in your browser and make sure you're connected to your network and type in 192.168.1.1. This is in most cases the default address of your router's settings page. If this doesn't work, then go back to your network settings and find your default gateway address and just use this instead. You'll be prompted to put in your password. If you don't remember setting one, just try Googling the default password for your router. Once you've logged into your router, you're going to want to go over to the Advanced tab and then go down to Advanced Setup and click on Port Forwarding, Port Triggering. Then you're going to want to add a new custom service and set the port to 25565 for Java and 19132 for Bedrock, and then set the IP of your server. And you will need to do this twice, one for the Bedrock port and one for the Java port. As you can see, I've already done this for my personal server. Now, instead of giving your friends your computer's IP, just Google what is my IP address, and you should be able to find your public IP address. So if you've done all the steps just like I said, you should now have a public server that you and your friends can play on. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.